Oh boy. Welcome. Please begin practice in a seated pose, perhaps on that folded blanket. This is a moon day. It is a full moon this evening, and it is a super moon, so it's extra bright, extra pranic. Ease yourself in to your folded legs position and remember it's really a vow of non-harming that we take when we practice yoga. That's really what's intended. One of the first teachings of yoga is to cause no harm. So you have that permission to do what you need to with your body today in the moment. Full permission. And the slowing and quieting of yoga gives us that kind of a clear look at things because we take the time to notice and feel. Draw the back waist forward a little bit as you sit here. Rest your shoulders on your ribs. Hands go where they let your shoulders rest. Bring awareness to your spine, that drawing in the low back space a little bit, not too much, a little firm across the low belly. Shoulder blades together and down the back, the forward curve at the neck. Balancing your head on top for a nice, easy flow of energy. When you're ready to breathe in, draw it in through your nose, gently lengthen. Feel that energy as you come to the top and maybe even pause with that inhale. Release slowly with the exhale. That's the secret to the exhale, is to let it go gradually, to lengthening that breath. And then that empty feeling, what's that like? Explore a few of those on your own, please. Eyes softened, maybe that down center gazing, open or closed eyes, that's the default gaze. Inhales have that rising, expansive energy. Prana with a small p. The exhale, apana, the opposite energy, that downward and centering energy into the belly center. Inhale is efferent. And last one, exhale, is afferent, that downward energy, finding the low belly center. And then let's start a little side to side rock. This is hip joint movement around the hips, leading into some torso circling. So doing some of our circling and flowing practices today for this moon day. Listen to your body, mindful of knees and hips here. Grounding. So we're going to lean a little into that apanic energy today, that downward, inward, grounding, calming, yin. One more this way. And a full return to center and your postural awareness, nice and light, nice and easeful. Lean back and cross your legs the other way, if possible. There's the boat pose for today. Right there, we just did it. And ground your hand. It's so good to see you all. So happy to practice with you always. Side to side rock, a little different on this side. And starting that circling movement, really listen to where your body wants to go with everything. Free breathing. So we bring together awareness of our focus, our gaze, that's our mind and our eyes, our breath, and then awareness of the subtle core, those three main places to bring it all together, to unify. One more time around, all the way up. Arms up, breathe in. Side stretch to the right, bring your hand down, come on over. Letting that left hip be a little heavy, your side bend. So you can Have your arm anyway in the air. I got my palm turning up because that feels kind of interesting in the wrist area. Turn the gaze down. The hand on the floor, light but supportive. One more time. Taking that hand in the air to the knee below it, but coming up a little bit first, then turning your spine. So find a little height or twist. Unforced. Include your neck and eyes. 2, 3, 4. Feel your breathing. Move along your spine here. Exhale. Belly center. Nice and easy coming out. Maybe switch again. Check in. Arms up, breathing in slowly, as long as you can. Exhale when you're ready, over. So turn your head as you find your hand on the floor and feel that upper arm into a sweet spot with the right hip a little heavy. 1, 2. The pose is your meditation. Breathing in it, gazing, finding right effort. Exhale. The hand on the floor sliding in brings you upright. Turn and reach for the knee with your hand. Comfortable turn. And then the hand behind us helps us stay tall. As we twist, I just walk it towards the midline behind until I find range of motion. The neck and eyes. These eye exercises, try not to strain. One more time, breathe deeply. Feel your exhale, that apanic energy down into the belly center. Inhale, core strength returns, reaching up. Fingers to the shoulders area, wherever that happens. Ground into your legs. Sit up tall so we have our core strength as we circle elbows forward a few times. Moving the shoulders in this practice to the front. Go through the circle the best you can, and then to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel my concentration turning on as part of the practice, and 5. And now the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got quiet there, and I know I started to get into it. And the other way with the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands together. Last thing. This is a bit of a long sit. I know. Inhale. Settling into that calm awareness, which is yoga. Heart lifting pose, leaning back, spread your hands, fingers forward. You can stay on your blanket. You can slip your fingers underneath it if you want to. And just coming out for heart lift, not boat. Toes point. Nice, easeful lean back to open your chest and front shoulders. 5 deep breaths. Anytime we go back with the spine, the gaze is down center. Helps ground the front of your body. One more time. And release. Tipping forward. Malasana, garland pose. Walk in your feet with widened knees. So you could come to your feet and squat. I'm going to keep my hips on the floor today. Bring them in. Hold on. Maybe come through if that's interesting. And you can do a palms press or reach. Big stretch in the low back and hips. No harming. Comfortable head. 5 breaths here. This is almost a turtle pose. Finding a little roundness in your back and the shape as you come through. One more time. Exhale. And release. Take your time releasing out of that shape. Deep pose. Please come around to your hands and knees. Your folded blanket could be under your knees if that provides contentment, easefulness. Hands, a little outward spin so that we use them with cleverness as best we can. Try to use them evenly. Find your knees, find the tops of your feet touching the ground, find the length of your spine. And starting to circle from your pelvis and hips. So I just started with a little tail wag. And then start to make that a little bit more like left hip towards the side, towards the left hand, the right hand, and the other hip. So bringing yourself into some table circles. 2, 3. Don't do this one that often myself, so trying to sort of figure it out. That's part of the practice, learning new things. And center, come to a side reaching child's pose, toes together maybe, knees are a little wide. Walk right, stretch across, head down. Mindful around your knees. A nice stretch around the knees in the front. Keep it positive in your body. One more breath. Circles the other way. Table inhale. Exhale, ready. Tail wag. Feel it back there, connecting with your body without your eyes. And then hip to the other direction, forward, other hand, other leg. Find that rectangular circle just to acknowledge. But it's that circling energy, circle of the moon, circle of the breath. 4. One more time, feel your way around and then ease back to your own degree. Walk your arms and bring your head down. A great pose to clear out space in your breathing because you need to use a little energy to find it here. With the chest a little compressed on the leg. One more time. 360 breath. Exhale. And return to center. A flow we usually do is cow spine. Inhale when you're ready, a little forward tip in your belly. And then lift the belly, flex your spine, gaze back to cat. Core strength and spinal mobility back and forth. Second one. Third one. One more time. The inhale extends the spine. The exhale flexes the spine. And release. For forearm practice today, come please to your forearms and hands can be flat together. I find interlace puts some pressure on the joints, so keeping it flat feels more comfortable possibly. All right, knees coming in under the hips. Take your right leg back for the heel stretch. Forearm plank plus heel stretch, back of the knee stretch. Press into your arms. Wrap your shoulders towards your heart. 2, Stillness between the front hip points. 3, 4, and 5. Slow release. Lifting the leg into the air, maybe doing a little bit of small circling, holding your body steady. Point the toes. Go the other way. Bring down the knee. Other side. So it's a nice supported forearm pose because we've got one of our legs down on the knee. But still, stay determined. Shift your weight back to stretch your heel and foot, back of the leg. One more breath. Feel that apana come down into the belly center, engaging lightly. Shift into table, lift the leg, point the toes. So glute strength here. Circle. Try to hold the rest of your body pretty steady. And 5, one more way, 1, other direction, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knee comes down, stretch back to puppy. So the elbows are lifted, toes tuck, head is down. A little bit restful. Stretching your wings by sticking your hands to the mat ahead of you. Broad back and chest. One more time. Striking cobra practice. So we'll inhale, pull your hands in under your shoulders, rise and dip and stretch back to puppy. Inhale, rise forward onto your plank on the knees. Hug your elbows in. Exhale, lift and go back to puppy. I was keeping my toes ready. Do that one more time. Forward, inhale, elbows in, dip down, press straight, toes ready, go back puppy. Let's come off of the hands, so make it child's pose. Bring the arms beside you, let them rest. I think some of you might have seen, I shared where you can take child's pose anytime you need it. Had pictures of people like in the grocery store, in the bank, down on the floor doing child's pose. One more deep breath. Flowing slowly to standing. Inhale to an up dog or a cow spine, your body, your choice. Flip your feet or lift your knees and come into downward facing dog. Nice and easy, free movement. So we can soften our efforts here on this day. We're making it a little more restful in our practice, but still practicing. And find that center, breathe out, head deeply down, one more breath. Gaze comes between your hands, shift forward, step forward. Breathe in, half lift pose. Breathe out, fold towards your legs. Repeating that twice more. Inhale, axial spinal extension, so long straight. Exhale, tuck your chin, fold in. One more time, your body. Strong belly on that half lift. And then the exhale, tuck and fold and breathe out. Catching elbows, big toes, your favorite way. Standing fold, free movement. Patient with the back of your legs this morning, or wherever you are in your being awake and doing stuff. The whole back body. One more breath. Soles of the feet to the forehead. Getting a little length here. To come up, bend your knees slightly. Switch your hands to the sides of your torso. And then press the feet. Rise. Reach. Take your time. And exhale. When you're ready, bring your arms down slowly into mountain pose. Clothing and hair as needed. Complete change of direction. Work on your posture and your breath for a moment. Just feeling your feet. And then start some forward and back arm swings. Nice and light. Graceful. Not throwing the arms around, but just letting them find their movement forward and back. Lift your palms forward. That gives you that external shoulder. Palms down and thumbs down and back. Internal shoulders. Twice more. External shoulder rotation. Lift. Internal shoulder rotation. Reach back. One more time. Your range of motion. Practicing just being content with where you are and return to center. Step to easy wide and to a place where you have room for your arms to the standing circle flow. A comfortable turnout and bring your hands together. Leave your fingers. Bring out index fingers. So try not to put too much pressure on your joints in your hands. Exhale, grounded and strong. Legs strong, feet spread. Lift your rib cage, front and back. Shoulders not too high. Gaze up, give a little squeeze. I'm just trying to activate those muscles on my arms. One more breath, little activated. Soften your hands, don't release them though. And 6 circles to the right side. So first one above the line of the waist, drawing a circle with your pointer fingers. 2. I'm just going to open this up to free flowing. So second variation is a bigger circle. Follow with your gaze. And a third variation is a squat with a big circle. So you bend your knees and come around. Please do several more in your own way, in your own time. Let the breath flow as the movement flows. And one more time to find your center. Give it a squeeze. Exhale, soften and float down your arms, release. This can help us release tension from the upper body. And the other side, as you're ready. Get to do that opposite interlace. Bring out the index fingers. Strong foundation, come up. You just support those arms overhead. 3, 4, one more time. And then the circles. Okay. Knees can bend as needed. They can also be straight all the way. It's okay. We don't need to soften our knees unless we need to, but it's not required. I'm gonna add in a few of those squatting ones because strong hips are happy hips. Give yourself time for one more time around in your own way. The inhale, squeezing at the top, and the exhale, release. Be present. Some infinity signs with your hands. And then let's practice a moon salutation today. So it may be easier to start from the center of your mat. So I think I'm going to proper turn sideways for this just to be able to show the whole thing. You don't need to turn your mat necessarily, but I'm going to stand in the center of my mat and Bring the hands together. Attitude of softness and chill. One more breath. Hands up, breathing in. Like we just did, back ribs lift. One breath, side bend right. Inhale, center. One breath, side bend left. Inhale, center. Hands come down, step out to goddess. Wide feet, knees bend, come down. Spine is upright. 3. You can move in it a little bit if you like. So sticking with that 5 breath pattern. And exhale in the center one more time. Press your feet, straighten, turn out heels, wide forward fold. Low belly and shoulders draw up, pelvic floor draws up. I figure we're not going to hear nice reminders about that unless we hear it in yoga class for the most part. So, a public service announcement. An energetic uplift in the pelvic floor and low belly. Come up with your next breath in. All the full return, shoulders find the back of the body. To the right, triangle pose. Turn out, angle the back foot. Stretch out your arms, breathe in, nice and light with this. The pelvis tilts to the side and the spine comes with it. Come down, gaze up. Your expression of the Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle. The exhales find the belly center, nice and grounding. One more time. Belly center exhale, move from there. So legs and belly center come up. And now we turn to face that right leg for parso. So I'm gonna take my back foot out a little bit so that I can switch the direction. And then we do Parsvottanasana. Internal shoulders reach back. Exhale, come together, knuckles or fingertips pressing and coming up the back comfortably, breathing in when you're ready. We'll stay in the stance here, letting those hip flexors have some space, having this little back bend over the hands. One more time. Feel your legs supporting the pose. Release the arms and then bring them down the leg as you find the fold of side stretching pose. Balance, big time. 3, 4, spine long, sides of the waist long. One more. Next pose, Anjaneyasana. So we're going to get that back knee to the floor. Do what you need to. Bend things, come down. So the back knee is a little far back so that you are stretching hip flexors and you lunge. Maybe your knee comes towards your toes. Center your spine. You could be on your knee with your hands. I'm not going to move mine because they feel good here. But bring your hands up higher if that's better. One more breath. Exhale. And then coming back to a Hanuman pose for a nice counter movement. Stretch out. Hands come closer. Fold in. Draw the toes back. Balance here. 2, 3. Feel yourself applying the weight that you feel good with in the moment. Exhale. Anjaneyasana, one breath. Lunge out and release. So starting this turn towards the front of the mat again. Skandasana is next. We're going to do that side lunge, turning this leg towards the corner. Come up and stretch your other leg out. You could come up, find your side lunge. Could be more of a squat. You can lift the back toes. One more time. And then find this on the other side. Few moments of preparation, checking in, maybe the toe lift. Nothing if it's painful. Everything I read about arthritis and those kinds of conditions in the joints says to keep moving. So sometimes we have some stiffness. Okay. Discernment. Use our discernment. One more. Exhale. Coming up. Okay. Janiyasana. Full turn to the left side of your mat. Bend your knees, coming down. Low lunge, long neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back to Hanuman's pose. Leaning into this forward fold, calm energy. One more time, exhale. One breath out to the lunge. And release. Now standing up, back leg lifts. Stack your hands, long spine, Parsvottanasana. Spread your feet. Belly center. All the foundational points. Exhale. Rise. Take your time. Bring your arms, just hug them behind your back, catching your elbows or reaching towards that this time. Lift your ribs. Go back a little bit with your torso and head and then gaze down. Standing back bend. One more. And release. The pelvis and spine now turn to the front or the side, the long side of your mat for triangle. Tilting over, grounding, and opening. 1. A little less striving than you might normally do, a little softer version. 1 more. Belly center. Legs firm, rise, press your feet, inhale. Goddess, breathe out, come down. Do a little side to side flow. And let's add a little shoulder hug or eagle pose arms. And tuck your chin. Balancing. 5-point star. Inhale up. Into the second side, cross your arms the other way. Come down. Feel your foundation. 1 more. Rise, inhale, star, inhale more. Radiant star, gratitude, come down, exhale. For without the sun, we wouldn't have the full moon. Center. Reach. Side bend left, exhale. Inhale, center. And side bend right. And release. Coming down. Come to the front of your mat. There's so much we could do, but getting into our restorative finish. So forward fold, if you want to practice another downward dog or cat and cow. It's a little free movement as we transition to the ground. Maybe a stretch back to child's pose. Beginning with lying back then, so bridge foundation. If you want to have a blanket roll, a little roll underneath your upper back for this, totally optional. And that line of the blanket goes behind your heart so that your shoulders and head are on the floor or other supports. You can just lie back with your feet on the floor, and we're going to just relax. Maybe your knees want to rest together. Rest and breathe in the supported pose. Settling the energy of what we did before. Feeling the balance of the inhale and exhale. And inviting for the rest of practice those exhales to be longer. The first thing that happens is a longer inhale to make room for that long exhale. Another 3 to 5 slow breaths here. Relax, relax. Easing off the blanket fold, it can become a pillow now if you'd like it to, coming back down if you had to get up for that. So a forward fold we can do on our backs. Press one foot and bring knees in. So this is forward in the spine, and we don't have to work super hard for it. So move freely, some circling, relax. It's nice and easy. And then coming into a stillness, 10, 15 cycles of breath, really slow ones. Your version is fine. Happy baby's fine. Eyes really soft. Lowest effort possible. Halfway point, if you wanted to switch it up a little bit or anything, check in. Moving into a nice easygoing figure four pose on either side. So knowing where you are, start with your foot on the floor. If you're not sure, you can bring the legs in to your own degree. Remember, with that idea of restorative in mind, just a low effort version, non-striving, rest what you can. Yoga strengthens our patience. Teaches us to find how to find a calm state. Another slow cycle of breath. Mindful of the release. Protecting your low back by using your low belly and your You can use your hands and arms too to come out of the pose. Some slow windshield wipers to move those rotations in the hips side to side. Wide feet turned out a little bit. Start to stretch out your arms and turn your head from side to side as well. And we'll do those again once we get to the other side. So find your figure four as you're ready. Recenter, set your pelvis and spine. Lift and come across. Take a few breaths to find the right amount of movement in your hip and your knee. Let everything be as comfortable and easeful as it can be. Yoga is the study of the self. So maybe observing what's happening to you here as you lie still, taking rest when we normally just go, go, go. Nourishes that calm side. The slow breathing enhances the calmness. Letting the side feel complete after another one or two. Finding that stillness in the low belly. Keeping that awareness and uncross. Step out your feet for the windshield wipers, arms out for some stability as you twist and rotate. Other way, range of motion, your range of motion. Take the time for one more each way, and then we'll set up for a favorite twist. You could stay on your second side. Lots of ways. You can do a stacked knees, stuff between the knees, one knee across, twisted roots. It's probably enough choices. Hips and legs one way, head the other. Cactus arm can be nice. The other arm, where is it supportive of this shape? Let go of any engagement in your belly and just let yourself be held. Enjoy your breathing. And that's about the first quarter of those 2 minutes. 15 more slow breaths is one way of finding a minute and a half. Only if you're restless though, otherwise don't worry about it. I'll tell you when to stop. Getting to know how your mind works. 3 more. Exhale, focused. 1 more. Do invite the low belly to re-engage. Head comes back to center first. Slowly bring the rest of your spine back. Plant feet. You can bridge up for a moment, especially if you'd like to do maybe an interlace behind to stretch out the shoulder area a little more. Recentering for the twist on the other side. Low belly still, something similar, but that matches the side of your body. So I use my top foot, prop up on the ball of the foot to keep space between my knees. Pro tip. Comfortably rotate your pelvis towards your legs. Turn your upper back and head the other way. Settle the arms, rest your eyes. And once you do that, you'll notice where you may be holding any tension. Relax belly and everything as you breathe. Ten more slow breaths. Exhale is grounding and supportive. Come back to center. So all that time in the twist, nice to take a full return to center. And what's your response? Maybe knees in once again. This is a nice idea. And then we can do a little bit of legs up just to let that blood reverse course and to do a little light tracing down the legs today for a little lymphatic movement towards the heart and the belly. So super light. Just touch where you can and draw down. Getting to the inseam a little bit, light tracing there. And then rest your hands on your legs where your elbows can be on the floor, toes rest together, low effort legs up. Bend your knees, release. Rock gently side to side, find that flow. Going with the flow. Come down with your feet, please. More and more restful. Make sure your low back, your tailbone's a little tucked under for Supta Baddha Konasana. So the low back is moving towards the floor as you open your knees, bring your feet together. And letting yourself get more and more into your restfulness and stretch out your legs when you feel ready, but giving this a little bit of time. Slowly exhaling a little subtle core as you stretch out. And get your comfort stuff if you don't already have it so that you can rest. Whatever helps you feel calm and grounded, giving yourself some softness. Widen your legs. Scan your body for any holding, any tension. Open mouth, exhale, relax. The breath natural, free. Sensing the lightness of your front body, letting it rest into your back body. The back body connects with the earth and resting into that. Listening for your breath. We can do a little listening relaxation here. Stay close with your listening first. And once you sense your heartbeat and your breath sounds, maybe your digestion sounds, allow yourself to widen out your ears to take in the room around you. I hear my dog sleeping, his breath sounds, the clock ticking, and maybe allowing the idea of going beyond your walls, what sounds might be out there. A lawnmower, sun, it's summer, but maybe not because it's Monday. Maybe it's birds. Letting that expansive sounds of the world meditation start to draw closer again, coming back to the space you are in, noticing without attachment, unless it's loving attachment to living beings, and that's always fine. But we decide not to let the lawnmower disturb us. Come back to the sound of your own breath. And release any effort with that guided practice. Just let yourself be and settle. The breath starts to deepen. Lingering in exhales 3 slow times. Really draw it down. Feel the core of deep breath work. Core strength grounds your belly. Down removing energy balances the upward moving energy. One more time, bring it down. And let yourself come out of your rest. Maybe just opening the eyes, fingers and toes. Your heart nice and open here. What seeds do you want to plant there? How do you want to move forward? Just reminding yourself that these grounding practices are always part of you and you can find them if you need them. Come around with awareness to some kind of upright seat. Observing the quality you've created with your practice, meditative, and welcoming the energy in your brain and your body that will come from this rest. Bring your hands together, elbows hugging in, breathing in. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. So grateful. Thank you. Try not to rush. Even if you got to get going, just move steadily forward, join the flow. Take a little more time on your mat if you would like to, of course, or sit with your meditation. But an hour is a nice gift to give yourself for yoga. So it's enough.